Roula's media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
Woo, it's a nasty rainy day today.
It is, and we are going to do Try It Tuesday, where we're going to try ramen. Well, for me, first time ever. I've never had ramen from a ramen restaurant before, but we're going to do that in just a few minutes because we want to check some listener line calls and give them time to get in here in a timely fashion.
Yeah, with the weather and stuff, I don't want anyone
to rush
rushing.
anybody.
Right. So if you've never called our listener line at 713-278-VENT, that's 8368 on your phone, that's a place where you can go to make comments about what we talked about on the show. Comments, complaints, compliance, whatever you
Hey,
want.
we're going to air it all. I mean, if we've got the time, we will play it. We don't censor anything out. But
Well,
this,
we do edit down.
I
Yeah, you
edit
do.
down. Yeah,
For sure.
because, I mean, some calls are 5 minutes
As
long.
people learned yesterday, there are some people you don't air at all.
Yeah.
That was the most awkward moment of the
You
show
know what,
this
though?
week.
She was such. You're talking about.
Did you ever talk to her?
Andrea?
I know you
Yes,
said
I
you
did talk to her after the show, and I ordered her a large bouquet of flowers. She lives out in Clute. Because I offered to come by and bring her some stuff. She goes, no, I'm fully stocked. So I sent her a lovely bouquet.
Not a fruit
For
basket.
those that don't know, because I don't
No.
think it was at this time, she had called our listener line, and then she called our live show. And for whatever reason, Ryan
My
decided
inside
to
voice spoke out
introduce
loud.
her as, oh yeah, she calls the listener line, and I don't air her because I don't understand her voice. Well, it turns out,
That's the first time she ever called.
yes.
Well, see, I am
Yes.
mistaking her for a different caller, too. She sounded very similar to somebody that was always calling the listener line.
Well,
But whatever
it turns
the
out,
case,
poor Andrea is one of these very fluky statistic number people. When anybody has surgery and you're going to go under, there is a chance that it might mess with your voice box when you go under, and it did. And she has lost her voice in a way where it's very much a struggle to breathe and talk at the
she
same
is
time.
recovering.
I think of her, then I think of that lady we had on that she was under, and then she woke up with a British accent for
Oh, yeah.
a year.
I forgot about that.
Tamales. She would say tamales, and they're like, "Why are you saying it like that?" She goes, "What are you talking about? I'm saying tamales."
And she was not doing a shtick. Her
Sam, she woke
No.
up with a British accent after going under. For
Didn't her sister
surgery.
work across the hall?
Yes, her sister worked as a receptionist. At the next
I wonder how that happens.
tenant.
She's back to normal now.
Oh, she is. She lost the accent.
But it had been over a year with the British accent.
That's so strange.
I had a friend in high school that went under, and he lost his whole entire memory, and they sued the crap out of the doctors.
Oh.
He got lots of money, but I had to go through the pictures, like our photo albums, and
So
tell
was he
him.
deprived of oxygen?
I have no idea what happened.
Did he ever get
but-
it back? Or
Did he get his memory back?
No, he would have memories, and then he would ask me, like, hey, did this happen in our childhood? And so I'd have to, basically help him remember our
It's like
childhood.
Jason Bourne type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old was he, Sam, at that
Wipe the
time?
memory.
He was, I think I was a freshman when it happened.
Well,
So,
thank God he wasn't 34, married with a kid he doesn't remember.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that
Yeah.
a show on ABC right now called Doc? She
Oh, yeah, the
lost her
doctor
entire
who's-
everything,
yeah,
and she's
yeah.
trying to build back to being an amazing doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
You got no memory? You don't remember school?
Yeah.
How do I do this?
How are you going to
Fine.
remember how to do brain surgery?
I can't tie my shoes, but I'm going to go back. No. I think I'll go to another doctor.
This past weekend, we did the Raw Feed Road Show in Galveston
Well,
at
that is
Moody
a
Gardens.
podcast live, not a broadcast live.
Yes.
The podcast live, so you can find it on our podcast.
You can listen to it today if you want.
And unfortunately, I had to go to the mystery box. Roula and Eric came up with this idea.
We
to
all ended
put-
up in the mystery box.
Well, in a way, because you put ladybugs in it.
And we didn't know the ladybugs
thousands.
would be so active. And if you go to @Radio Roula, you'll see the picture from our perspective up there on the stage of it looked like thousands of ladybugs were all over the place.
I've never seen him like
Eric was
that.
putting them in my hair, down my shirt, and I'm like
They were landing
squirming
on
all
us,
over the
flying
place because I'm
around.
blindfolded.
Then if you die because they ate the glue from your wig.
No, stop.
Well, you
I
were
do not-
blindfolded. That's the one thing we forgot.
I do not wear a wig. See, you joke about that, and people.
In that light, when you were playing it, I thought they could
I was
see a
on a
little glue
date.
line.
I was on a date, and the girl grabbed my hair. She just had to check, see if it was real. I'm like, thank you, Eric.
Extra special, glue on that day.
Okay, so this gentleman heard about the ladybug situation.
So y'all are talking about the ladybugs y'all had for y'all's Raw show in Galveston. I got a little story for y'all about these lovely ladybugs. So one time I went up to go see my dad with my wife, and we stopped at in Corsicana at the rest stop right there on 45. Well, when we got there, we just noticed that there's a ton of ladybugs, and we didn't think nothing of it. Went to Dallas, go see my dad, came back, and we got back to my house. And probably about a few days later, we didn't take the car out. And when I went back out to that car and opened the door, I would say a good thousands of ladybugs came flying out of the car. They were like nesting, basically taking refuge in my truck doors, and we're just sitting there. So hopefully y'all didn't take any home and they're now building a nest in y'all's truck.
no.
We'll find out. Welcome to the Ladybug Club.
Crap, because I put the mystery box in my back.
He's right.
Gosh,
He's right.
Eric.
Because I found one in my shirt
Oh,
when
no.
I was getting changed at home.
Because the next day, my daughter in the backseat of my truck, she's like, "Oh, it's in my hair." Because I had the mystery box in my back, and instead of putting it in the back of my bed,
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I just put it in the back
Just
seat.
drive home with your windows down. Maybe they'll all fly out.
I haven't seen any, so
No, but what he's saying is if they nest and
nest.
lay eggs, and all of a sudden 5 days later,
that's a good
thousands of
revenge.
ladybugs.
I wonder if you can order those because they had those packets.
Yes, those pouches.
Uh-huh.
Can you order those on Amazon and then because they had them in the fridge,
So they're
docile.
are they like
They're so
catatonic
dormant.
when they're wrapped
But
up?
then when
and
they warm up, they go.
They're very active, as we saw
That'd
on
be a
the
good
mystery
revenge.
box table.
Cut those
My
open, put them in
God.
someone's car
Everywhere.
I don't think so.
or their desk.
We learned that ladybugs are the natural pesticide for the rainforest.
And they're good luck.
They're pretty.
Yes.
And then somebody called the
Ladybugs.
listener line and they had a question about what if they encounter us on the street.
If we were running into y'all on the street, I think for Eric consent, is it not okay to say hi to you? Like, tell you how awesome and amazing the show is? Is that not okay? Is it okay? Like, what's the protocol? What should we do? Are you scared of us? Or, I don't know. Want to know what y'all think?
I would never be scared of anybody. I mean,
Are you
please
scared of
come
us?
up and chit chat because I look at it like
Don't give me a reason to be scared of you, and I won't be scared of you.
the people that listen to the show are part of the show, just as much a part of it as we are. So please come up and
If
say
we were
hi.
like Brad Pitt, where
We're
like,
not
I bet
famous.
every day he gets noticed. and
Right, no.
Everyone's looking at him eat. That'd probably get annoying. But with us, it's, when it happens, it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
mean,
say
I look
I
at it-
welcome people saying hi all the time. No
Absolutely.
problem.
you're our real boss. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
if we didn't have you, we wouldn't have a job.
The only time I don't want you to say hi to me is when I'm having my well woman exam.
Your
And you're
what?
you're the tech
Yeah.
Yes.
that has to be there to take notes. The
I don't
well
know.
woman exam.
So
Where
that
you're in the
epi-
stirrups.
What you were talking about earlier was real funny.
Yeah.
This is going to feel a little pressure. But yeah, Roula, that was a great show.
Take a selfie with them.
Hey,
Oh,
I do
God.
have one thing, though. Just be, we appreciate all of our listeners. Just be respectful of our children, please. If we're
Yeah,
out
you're
and about.
protective mama bear.
Protective mom bear, It's getting
Yeah.
to a point where I may not.
Somebody tried to lick Santi's cheek, and we were not okay with that.
I mean,
Just kidding.
I may stop posting him on social media, is where it's getting at. So if we could be, they're
Yeah,
little
most of my
people.
stuff I just
They're fine.
focus on me.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want to me. I don't care if it's nice or, mean, but
Well, I mean, it would be.
Well, don't say mean things
Yeah,
in front of your
like,
kids.
yeah.
That's for sure.
That happened to Ryan.
Santi can't get it, but my kids can.
Remember when your daughter was like 12? Someone came up to you at a
11. The guy came up
Texas
to me.
Roadhouse or something?
No, I
In the
think it
parking
was
lot.
in the
Somewhere in the
parking
parking
lot.
lot
It was in
of
the
a
parking
food
lot
place.
of Carrabba's on Kirby, and the guy came up to me and called me an a-hole and this and that. And I said, please don't use that language in front of my
So he's a
child.
listener, huh?
And he kept on dropping all these F-bombs. And
What?
Faith was like 11 at the time.
You
And
must have really made him mad.
I don't know what I did to irritate him, but
That's crazy.
I know I'm irritating, but not that bad. But I put my daughter, no, she was even younger because she was still in a car seat. I remember strapping her into a car seat.
It
And
was like 2008 or something.
I just,
'Cause it was here.
I said, if you ever speak like that in front of my child again, I'll knock your teeth out. And
What did he do? He walked
He
away?
walked
And he said
away.
another bad word.
This is Texas.
And
He'd
then walked
probably,
away.
he walked away.
he'd probably say, okay, let's see
He
what you
opens
do.
up his shirt. He's like, yeah, you see.
He's
Go
like, you
ahead.
got a fist? I got a bazooka. Try it.
Because then if,
Like
if you
when
said that,
kids
he
are-
would
when
let you
kids-
hit them because he'd see your ass and get all your money.
Well,
Right.
Oh, yeah,
you're
that's
speaking,
a,
you're
speaking logically
That's how
right
people
now,
think, though.
But people have emotions, and when you're heated and somebody has done something to, like I didn't use that kind of language in front of my daughter, and I was seething mad. That's the only time I've ever had any kind of a problem with somebody.
Somebody reminded me that Costco, when I'm eating a hot dog, is the only time you can't talk to me.
That's why I said that, yeah.
Eric loves to go to Costco and eat a hot dog. Do you drink the drink too?
Oh, hell yeah. It's $1.50. You get a Pepsi. I hate
No,
Pepsi,
what
but
you
it's
need to do
It
is
has
just
to be
sit
Pepsi?
right across from
Oh,
Eric
no.
and
Yes.
get a hot dog, and then just every single
Look
time
him in
he
the
takes a
eyes.
bite, you take a bite.
if there's
him in
no
the
seats
eyes.
there,
Look
I
him
will.
in the eyes.
I will carry my
That's what you
hot
need
dog.
to do.
I'll carry my wiener. I'll carry my hot dog, and I will go
How'd you
out the
carry
door
your
and I'll
wiener
eat it in my
over?
truck. But I don't
But
want
don't
to
you
because
put ketchup or mustard on it?
mustard, and I put it back in that bag. And then
What? That's so messy,
the problem
Eric.
is those hot
That's
dogs
so
are good, but they
messy.
stink in your car. So
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
come
They
back an
stink up
hour
the
later,
car.
like, oh
It's-
man,
Don't you
It's,
eat just really fast in your car? How long does it take to eat a hot
it
dog?
doesn't matter.
I think it still lingers.
Yeah.
Really?
We could do a
Yes.
whole topic on food that lingers in the car. Like,
Yeah.
I love Indian food, but if you leave it in your car for like 30 minutes,
Anything nowadays, but these cars
any
are
kind of
so
food.
good at
any
keeping
to
them
go
safe.
order I pick up, I've got to like air up my car because I don't want to smell. And also, are we all like this? Can we all agree that when you have a brand new car, you're a little bit more stringent with your rules of
Oh, absolutely.
what food
Yeah.
do you want in your car?
Yep.
Like, I don't want food in my car yet. No. I don't want that new car smell to go away. No,
Once that
no,
new
food in
car
my
smell
car yet.
leaves, then it's like, okay.
And it's like, all right.
Now it's just a
game
regular
over.
car again.
Find French fries under your seat for days. How did this get here?
I love it when people use new car smell in their cars, like a 1986 Saturn or something.
Oh, they use the spray?
Yeah, it's like, you're not fooling anybody.
No, and it doesn't smell the same.
No.
Don't fool me. All right. Coming up next, we'll be trying something. I don't know. Does ramen smell when it's in your car? I mean, it's a soup. Soup doesn't smell like other food, but
It has an amazing smell, so I
Okay.
feel like it's worth it.
we're going to try ramen. I cannot believe as a native Houstonian and a foodie.
Maybe.
Ahmad just texted me.
the
They're
rain.
still not here?
We might. Neither of them can get hold of the guy.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Did he
he's
take
okay.
our food and run?
They were almost here.
SOB, you took our ramen.
Is it DoorDash? Misdelivered
Do we
DoorDash?
shift to a different
It's
thing?
a-
Let's do
into
True
the
Crime
building?
Do we
Tuesday
do
then.
True Crime Tuesday?
I say, screw them.
All right. True Crime
Tell them
Tuesday.
not to come.
Well, just
No, wait.
we just want to make sure they're okay in the rain.
Hold
But
on,
Eric is mad
Eric.
because he
Eric's
was
ready
ready
to
to
commit a crime.
I'm doing a I don't even
Executive
like
producer.
You don't know that you don't like ramen. That's why we're trying it.
ramen. I know, but right now I don't like ramen.
Okay,
And
let's
now I'm
just
really
move
not liking
on.
ramen. I want to
Obviously,
cuss
there's a
hot dog.
transportation issue in the rain. We're going to
Right.
just excuse them. Try it Tuesday's been moved over because let's go to True Crime Tuesday. That's what we usually
let's
do.
open up the
here
lines.
anyway. 833-390-KRBE. It's whether you were directly connected to a crime. Unfortunately, maybe you were the person that perpetrated the crime and you've learned your lesson now.
Or you
paid your
witnessed
dues,
it.
or it happened near your house. Whatever it is, True Crime Tuesday. 833-390-KRBE. We'll talk to you next.
Can you bring up? Yeah, there we
is
go.
happening?
we're not doing Try It Tuesday.
I'm so
But
sorry.
I was enjoying the song.
I know, so was I. I was
It's
like,
True Crime Tuesday. If you want to hear this,
Just beat it
I don't
and
think
eat
we
it.
have a stager for True Crime.
No.
We do
True
not.
Crime
Remember when we were
Tuesday.
having that repeat weird thing happen? We were playing that sinister investigative
Oh,
music.
that's what we were
Oh,
using.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
I'm
investigative
sorry, guys.
reporting.
It's okay.
I just played it and I was like, why are you looking at me like that? You have to keep dancing.
That's okay.
okay.
True Crime Tuesdays, where you call our show at 833-390-KRBE, and you tell us how you were connected to a crime of some sort. Now, Rachel is standing by to tell us about a 1983 cold case
Whoa.
in
case.
Houston.
42
What?
years ago. Okay.
Hi, Rachel. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I love you guys' show.
Hi, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, tell us, Rachel, how are you connected to the story you're about to tell us?
Okay, so I was 5 months old in 1983 during Hurricane Alicia, and I actually didn't know this until I was older. My mom had told me that her mother was murdered, and it's still a cold case. It happened off of Derry Ashford and Memorial. There were 3 ladies in a real estate office, and they were all bound and executed.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't steal anything. They don't know why. They don't have a suspect still. HPD has had it as a cold case for 42 years.
Whoa.
And
Now, hold
they
on.
have one. They have one piece of evidence, which is the paracord from the mini blinds, and it's just sitting in a lab somewhere.
So the cord from the mini blinds was used to
Holy
strangle
crap.
the women?
That's all the evidence they had. They have DNA, but I guess they don't have the funds to test the DNA.
Okay, let me tell you
So
why
my
this is...
family.
What? They don't have
The funds to
even
test the
in
DNA.
2025?
How is that
Did
possible?
this happen the day the hurricane hit? Or was it a few
What did
days?
it have to do with Alicia? Was it around that time?
It was just during Hurricane Alicia. Yes, during that
Okay,
time.
around
using
that
that
time
as
of
a
Hurricane
reference
I'm just
Alicia.
saying, like, maybe they
So
used
there's
that as
really
a...
no witnesses or anything like that. I guess they were evacuating.
That's right next to the Derry Ashford roller rink.
Okay, listen,
It's right
let
in
me
that
tell you how
area.
weird this is. Last Thursday, Rachel, I went to lunch with my mom for her birthday, and one of the ladies that she had invited is an older lady, and she loves to listen to our show. She knows roses, she knows revenge, all these things, and she was talking to me about, you know, her career. She's 88 years old now, but she feels like a 35-year-old, and she retired from sales. She goes, you know, when I wanted to start working, my husband told me, don't do real estate because these 3 women in Memorial had been murdered as real estate agents. She told me that story last
And then now you
Thursday.
met somebody that...
And now
How random.
Yes,
So
random.
My aunt and my mom have been working closely with Crime Stoppers for many years. They've been on the news about it a few times. I'm sure some of your listeners will remember the story. But how crazy is that?
Yes, that she brought it up. Ms. Moss brought it up about wanting to become a real estate agent. Her husband said no because these 3 women were just murdered
Now,
in their office.
you said the
That's why
DNA
she went to sales.
So they have it, like right now, they still have this stuff, this evidence somewhere?
They do. It's in some, excuse me, it's in an office in the Woodlands somewhere, some lab.
So DNA, like what was it? Did he
And nobody
leave
cares
blood
enough
or
to-
something?
There's a whole show called Cold
I
Case
don't-
that we've
I don't
learned
know.
from.
Nobody really knows why they haven't tested it yet. So, and nobody's come forward with anything. I mean, there was like one lead, but then it just like disappeared.
Is there anything
But,
we can do
so my
to put pressure on them? I'm trying to think of
because,
ways.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
It's not what it used to be. Like, you get these kits for 23andMe. You can test DNA.
Right.
It is not that expensive. It's
Well,
not
we
gonna
know the
break
killer's
the
in the
bank.
but the problem
database.
is, even if you say you find it, the lawyer for that person will say it's been 42 years. That stuff
Yeah,
was
how
laying
can you come
around
back?
this.
Well,
it could have been mixed in. Yeah, they could say all kinds
Right.
of
But
things.
what we learned,
Or at least
though,
you have a
Eric,
name.
at least he's
here's-
on the radar, whoever
But listen,
it was.
what we learned about DNA is, yes, it can be compromised, but it can't name you. Meaning, like, Sam and I could submit our DNA, and it gets compromised, but it still shows it's Sam's, and it still shows it's mine. It could be compromised, but it's not going to change the identity of the person that the DNA came from.
Right.
That's
Were
what I
these-
have learned from watching all the crime
Probably long
shows.
gone, too.
What
Yeah.
was his motivation? Do they know
They
what
don't
the
know.
motivation was for the crime?
No money?
So there's no motivation. From what I understand, there was like some jewelry hidden in a trash can, and it was still there.
Okay.
So
That is
nothing was
crazy.
stolen.
That is
Oh my
wild.
God! Some person
my
murdered
grandmother
3 whole
survived
women
long
and just Go
Ended
ahead.
their lives.
Sorry,
My grandmother survived long enough to have her rights, her last rights, read to her by the priest. But and my grandpa was there by her side when she finally passed, and
But she couldn't say anything like, she didn't say anything like
describe who the killer was.
3 men or like.
I would assume not because it was a wound to the head. So.
Oh, no.
Somebody said, tell her to email Crime Junkie. They help test DNA that labs can't fund.
Well, that's not the problem. The problem is that it's locked in evidence right
What's this
now.
one? Othram?
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 Othram? O-T-H-R-A-M in the
Othram?
Woodlands. They specialize in DNA that's previously been unrecoverable.
But how do you get the police to release that?
Have you heard of that place before, Rachel?
I think that might be the one. I'm not 100% sure, though. But this was, I could have done my research, but, I called you guys on the whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just saying,
thank
if
you
you
for your
need, if you need help,
Right.
That's really
push, get a
unbelievable.
we got a big microphone here. We can reach out, or if
you're-
you need to raise money, I don't know what. I just want to
Right,
get answers.
how-
Whatever
for
we
you.
can do to help.
Rachel is calling
Justice.
in to the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. If you're just tuning in, we're doing True Crime Tuesday. In 1983, she was 5 months old. It was around Hurricane Alicia time. And there was a big news story in Houston at Derry Ashford Memorial. There was a real estate agent office, and 3 women were murdered there. Her grandmother was one of the women. It is a cold case. Apparently, there is a blind, what is it called? The blind cord?
Yeah, the
that is
cord,
in
that makes it go up
evidence
and down.
Okay.
trapped in there, and they can't test it for whatever reasons. We're trying to figure it out. Okay, to be continued. Rachel, hang on the line. Let's get your number off the air. Mama, if you can please get the number off the air. Thank you. We'll talk about that because maybe we can make a connection. Now, we did the secret sound today, and we gave away $1,560 to Sydney. She was caller 104 who figured out that sound was a microphone.
Finally, someone got it.
Yep.
And Sydney is back on because she wants to share a True Crime Tuesday story.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Two
you're a
times
winner
in one morning.
and a contributor today. Good morning, Sydney.
Good morning, guys. You made my day.
You made our day. I'm
Welcome
so glad
back.
that sound got guessed.
Yeah.
We're paying $1,500 to hear your story now.
Okay,
That's
let's
why-
tell us your True Crime Tuesday story, Sydney.
So, when I was a little girl, we lived in the Hiram Clark area. And my parents protected me, so I didn't really know everything that was going on. But there was a serial killer in the Pasadena and Houston area where young boys were coming up missing.
Oh.
One day we were on our way home in our neighborhood. We lived in Keswick Place, and there was a street called Player. We were driving down Player, and Player was very congested, which is abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw this man crying, and there was like a stall, like a horse stall over there to the left.
Okay.
And that's where the police and everyone was. And, I was little, so I couldn't put the dots together. But when we got home, they were on the news. That's where they were burying the bodies in my neighborhood.
No.
Whoa.
And the man that we saw that was, uncontrollably crying, one of the boys was his son.
Oh, my God.
And who were the killers?
Well, they deemed them, I think they called them the Candyman killers. it was Henley, Brooks, and
I'll look that up.
Why does that sound familiar?
I feel like we've talked about that. Didn't we talk about the Candyman killers?
Candyman
Yeah,
killer.
I thought there was a
That sounds
movie about
familiar.
Let
that.
me find out.
No, I mean here, like on our show.
in
we-
Houston, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but I thought that
Dean
we...
Coral?
yeah.
Oh,
Dean
yeah.
Coral-
They were the biggest serial killers. They killed the most people until John Wayne Gacy. Prior to him, they were the biggest serial killers.
Dean Arnold Coral
Lord.
was an American serial
Yes.
killer, sex offender who abducted, raped, tortured, murdered a minimum of 28 teenage boys and young men between 1970 to 1973 in
And they
Houston
had buried,
and Pasadena.
And they buried how many in your neighborhood, Sydney?
I'm not sure how many were buried there, but I do know that that was a point of part of the torture because they found one of the torture rooms there, and
I can't.
they found bodies.
Sam, wasn't this like a documentary on Netflix?
I don't
feel
know.
like
That's
I've
what I. That's
Someone's
what I
saying
was
this.
thinking.
He's one of the first serial killers. There has to be
He
something.
even
out there.
murdered his own son. It said.
Good grief. This is so
your
dark.
parents probably kept you away from anything. Not to go outside.
Yeah, my parents. Yeah, I was young, so they, I didn't get all the ins and outs. A lot of the stuff I found out, as looking back, wondering what happened, and researching some things. But yeah, they found the bodies in my neighborhood off of Hiram Clark.
He was the candy man because he gave free candy to local children.
Oh, God.
And then shockingly, he had two teenage accomplices.
Was he up for
man.
parole? Someone said that's why we were talking about getting him.
Oh,
back
No,
in the
this
day.
guy's been dead since 1973.
Okay, maybe it's
He has?
someone else that was with him.
Wait, that guy died in 73?
Dean
no,
Coral.
there's a story here from 74.
yeah. There's I think there's two different ones.
August 8th, 1973.
Well, it said there was more than one guy.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were two accomplices, David Owen Brooks and Elmer Wayne Henley. She was talking about
Wayne.
Henley.
There's a
named
movie.
Wayne.
What's that movie with Ethan Hawke? Payphone or something, or not?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Because he had that special room and stuff. I wonder if it was loosely based on this.
They say that demonstrators who showed up for his execution chanted trick or treat outside of the prison in
Yes,
Huntsville when
I
he
was
was
going
put
to
to
say
death.
this one. Yeah, the one that I was looking at is Ronald Clark O'Brien.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
That was
and
another
nicknamed the Candyman.
That
yeah.
was another.
How many
man,
years was he-
Candyman,
did they have
and
to
he
wait?
haunts Trick or treat.
One of those things. You're guilty. Take him out back.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
We gonna pay for them to sit around and eat.
You're not
for
going to
him.
rehabilitate a mass murderer.
Oh
What
my
in the
God, That's
world?
insane. That's insane. He killed his own kid too, and that's the one that got him sentenced to death. It says here, and that's what took him to the chamber. For the
Everyone's saying that's the guy from the
Yeah.
Heights. Remember, you had the victim's family on, and listeners kept him in jail when he came up for parole.
That was Carl Eugene Watts, wasn't it?
Coral
That's what I'm
Eugene
thinking of
Watts.
him.
See, this is a different.
That's a different
Dean
Coral.
Coral is not the same
How many
person.
serial killers
No.
do we have?
There's a
And
lot.
the word Coral
lot.
and Wayne. What's up
Yes.
with Wayne?
Wayne. Everybody
This one's
has
spelled
Wayne in their middle name.
CORLL.
Yeah, Coral
Dean
Eugene Watts. That's
Coral.
the first family we helped, the Samander family, keep Coral Eugene Watts in prison. Coral Eugene Watts eventually died from cancer in prison. Hulu has a documentary about
gosh.
Dean Coral. Says somebody on text.
It's on Hulu.
I don't have Hulu, so I don't.
Sam will be
won't find
watching that.
Okay, so I did see that.
I
Then.
know.
Okay.
Santi,
Get
guess
Hulu.
what we're going to learn about today? Serial killers.
You need Netflix and you need
It's so
Hulu. Rilla.
creepish.
Those are the two I would tell
I
everybody.
can't, y'all. I watched that Gabby
yes.
Petito thing
Paradise.
yesterday because Sam told me
Disney
to, and I couldn't
Plus
sleep.
with Hulu.
Yeah, they all come together.
Yeah, they package
No,
them.
I'm not. I have to log in. I don't know the password.
What? It's not hard. You can reset
It's
your
really
password.
easy.
You're gonna miss
They even
Paradise.
They even give you like a QR code on the TV, and you just wave your phone in front of it, and boom, you can reset your password.
And that movie with Ethan Hawke was Black Phone. And there's a sequel coming out too.
I was
Really?
wondering
About
why
a
everybody
killer?
kept texting that.
Yeah,
I
Black
never
Phone
saw
is the
that.
yeah. It's
good.
And
it's good. It's
and he's a killer, or
Dark.
he is
Ethan
a
Hawke?
victim of one.
no, he's the killer. Like he's got balloons. He's got this mask, and then he.
My God,
And then-
why? Why can
In
it-
the story, the
something-
kid. There's a phone in there that doesn't work, but the kid answers it, and he can talk to the kids that were in there in the past.
Oh, yes.
I cannot.
have seen
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Really?
And they try
They're
to
like-
tell him
They're
to
like,
get out.
he's coming back down
Yeah.
soon. Be careful.
Yes, it is
I do
twisted.
remember that.
It's
Yeah.
twisted.
You guys are giving me the creepies. I cannot.
and it's all cloudy
And I
outside
can't with-
today.
Oh,
I know, and I can't with people taking innocent things that are joyful and making them murderous, like balloons and candy.
This guy,
and-
the Candyman.
Oh God, I can't.
Is there a
All
balloon
right.
killer?
Listen, I'm sure that's
There's a Costco
isn't
hot dog
Isn't that
guy.
it? The clown got the kids with the balloon. It the Clown?
Yeah.
All right, y'all go to the listener line at 713-278.
That wasn't
Then
real,
I can't
though.
take much more true crime
Pennywise is
today.
fictional.
That was fake.
I know, the Pennywise was fake, but the concept was to
Gacy
attract
was a clown.
children.
Yeah, John Wayne
John
Gacy's
Gacy was a
documentary on
clown.
Netflix is really
Well,
interesting.
I don't need to know more than
Twisted.
what I saw in Monster with Dahmer. That was about as
Yep.
much as I could take about John Wayne Gacy.
I still wouldn't watch that one.
No, it's so dark and scary. I could not. Okay, on to happier things. Cleanse the palate, cleanse the palate. All right, the Oscars happened on Monday. There was a McDonald's commercial today about Oscar winners, but we have questions. Are they all getting paid for this, or is McDonald's just taking liberties? And also, what is the most cringe moment of the Oscars, or what's the most memorable moment of the Oscars? Some people have a really hot debate over what is going to live in infamy forever about the events that happened at the Oscars on Sunday and in the past. We will discuss in Scoop next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Time for your daily scoop. Celebrity Scoop.
KRBE's Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Sarrandas. All right, Oscar Aftermath, after Sunday's big show, which I thoroughly enjoyed that it started at 6 and not at 7. It was epic. You may have seen this McDonald's commercial already. It played here in our studio today, and I saw the story today how McDonald's is using like what the breakfast orders of the celebrities are. And I'm like, wait a second, did they like clear this with the celebrities? Because they've listed like all these people and what they've ordered from breakfast.
Like,
I'm sure
what,
they
that-
had to have asked.
That day of? Or I'm just through their life?
It just says in general. It says
like,
like
how did
pure
they
and
find
Coke
this?
and small Coke. Like, I was
not
like,
even me.
is this a commercial about what he went to McDonald's after? Because you know, so many times at award shows, they'll show like a celebrity goes to like the In-N-Out drive-thru or something. So anyway, they're running this whole Oscar campaign. The Oscars, by the way, did have about 18 million people, just under 18.1 million people watching the actual telecast, but that's 7% less than last year's broadcast. They have not given us the numbers, and I don't know if they can actually even get the number of the consumption of the bits
See, Oscars
that
is
run on socials.
it's a business. They should pick one or two movies that are popcorn movies, or people know what
Yes.
they are.
when it's all artsy fartsy stuff.
Or they need to make a new category and put it's showbiz. It's okay. Pick an Oscar for best comedies. Pick 5 comedies.
They've never done that.
Just they got to change things up. That's the problem. These people are stuck in their ways,
It's boring.
and it's boring as all hell unless you're in that world.
Yeah.
For
Adrian
the other
Brody
stuff.
set the record on Sunday night for the longest Oscar speech. When the music came in,
How
he
about
even
boring?
told them to stop playing the music because, come on, guys, really, come on. It's not my first time up here. Come on. I'm not going to be egregious, he said. And then he went on with pauses. And anyway, it was 5 minutes and 40 seconds. People also think it's weird that he threw his gum at his wife.
that
His
was-
wife was like, "Here, let me have it," because he had gum in his
threw
mouth.
his
and-
gum?
Well, he forgot to take he wanted to take his gum out of his mouth, and I could totally see if Tassos and I were standing next to each other and I had gum in my mouth, or he had gum in his mouth, and he had to go up to something to speak, and I would just give it to me.
Yeah.
Like every mom would say, "Here, kid, give me your gum." Every wife would be like,
Right.
give me your gum."
Yeah.
And my husband would probably take my gum as well and just find some piece of paper. But he had gum, and he starts going up to the stairs, and he realized he had the gum. So you see his wife like here, like his wife was like, "Throw it to me."
He missed. Remember, it went by her.
But he went down the steps a little bit to kind of toss it to her, and then she had to get it. I didn't
fell
think
on the
that was
ground.
weird at
It
all.
went
but
past
people-
her, though.
Yeah. So she
You
had
know what
to
he
get
should have
it.
done was taken it out and put it on the head of the Oscar.
No, that's so disrespectful.
Oscar has hair now.
my
That would be funny.
He's got
Like,
a gum
he
hat
holds
on.
it.
Yeah, that
we
would
talked
be a
about this
riot.
yesterday, how Diane Warren unfortunately tied for the record for the most Oscar nominations without ever winning yet. Sunday night was her 16th loss. I was really cheering for her or Elton John, neither one. I said I didn't know Sean Baker's name before Sunday night, but I know it now because he won 4 Oscars in one night for
Who
the
is
same
Sean
movie.
Baker?
He is the writer, the director, the editor, and the producer of Honora.
His editing speech was funny.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh my God, the director sucks."
It was because
But
of
if
me.
you
I
didn't-
saved the film.
Oh, okay.
I saved the film.
Because he goes, "The director sucks." But if you didn't know he was the director, you just think he's shaming the director.
Which makes you wonder
That's
how many
funny.
editors out there think they are better than the director.
Oh, I bet a lot.
Yikes.
because think about it, they edit, they make it.
They're crafting the whole thing. You might think that you've got a piece of garbage and it's no good, but if you've got a great editor, just controls the flow and the pace of the story.
And see stuff that you might not have seen and takes that scene and puts it back in or moves it around.
If you had to pop quiz right now, quick answer. What is like an outstanding moment from an Oscars of the past that you've heard about or read about that lives in infamy? Quick.
A guy named Jack Palance, he was in the City Slickers, and Billy Crystal was
the
up there
host.
with them, and he was doing one-arm push-ups to show how he's like, I might be old, but watch this, and because Billy did a joke
I would
about
have
him.
to
he
say,
won Best
throughout
Supporting
the-
Actor and did a one-arm push-up on stage.
And throughout the
in
night,
his
they were doing
70s.
Jack Palance jokes.
Yeah.
I just remember that. I'm like, I don't know who this
Ryan,
old man
do
is.
you have one that sticks out?
yeah, Will Smith hitting Chris Rock in the face.
A lot of people would say when Adrian Brody kissed Halle Berry, the streaker of the time before our time on the radio, there was a streaker.
That was in the 1970s.
The wrong name for best.
La La Land, when it should have been Moonlight.
How did they do that?
Yeah.
Was that with Steve Harvey, or that was something different?
That was Jimmy Kimmel. No, Steve Harvey was Miss Universe with the wrong name.
That was Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Harvey did not host the Oscars.
Yeah. It was
should.
Warren
I couldn't
Beatty and Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. Is that her name? They were the ones that were they announced La La Land, but it was supposed to be Moonlight.
Yeah, Steve Harvey should do it. Then do a Family Feud up there. Put their names up there. All right. Survey says
I wonder.
you're the Oscar winner.
Yeah, I bet they've asked Steve Harvey to host Oscars. He's like, hell no, I'm not doing that. I make so much money doing other things. Why don't I
It
get
is
roasted?
fun. I like his version of Family Feud, but man, he's got an ego. He has a way of like incorporating like his name into the questions. If you had to say what was Steve Harvey's sexiest trait, what would it be?
Yeah.
Like he panders to himself.
But he doesn't write the questions. He just makes the staff do it.
I like that show.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, majority of Americans, because it was the most recent, would say the Will Smith slap is a memorable Oscar moment that will probably never be topped because of the shock of it. Because we didn't know if that was a skit.
Yeah.
At first.
It's like,
Everyone's
is he mad
"What?
or is he making a joke?
Is this like a deal? Because they do that all the time. They have like the Adam Sandler thing in his that was planted. That was a bit. That was a skit, right? He's yelling from the audience. They're like, "Oh, Adam Sandler's not dressed." So when Will Smith started yelling, and we're like, "What is he yelling?" And it's Chris Rock, and you think they're like friendly. You're like, "Oh, what's this?"
Chris Rock, I'll give him credit, man. I would have slapped back, or I would have been cursing at him, or something.
I think he was so
He
shocked.
was just shocked.
It was total shock.
I would have said something to that. Be like, "What the blank? You blank?"
Well, Chris Rock says he's not ruling out hosting the Oscars again, and
Conan O'Brien should just do it.
Yeah, he was so
Conan
good.
O'Brien was so good.
He's not political like Jimmy Kimmel.
And he made a joke about how he's not getting paid. Do you remember that story I did on Thursday?
Right in the beginning.
He got paid like $25,000, which is very low. And he made a joke about it in the beginning. He was like, I don't care. They're not paying me a lot. Like,
That was right at the beginning, yeah. I saw
It must
that.
be nice. $25,000 for one day.
Well, but you
Everyone
gotta
else in
realize,
America-
And you get dressed for free.
he's
and,
worth like what, $40 million?
I think he's worth more than that, actually.
He's
I
got
think
a
he's
lot of
200
money.
million
I
now.
know some rich people, and they're the stingiest people in the world.
Yes.
That's why they're rich.
I've known people like that too.
And to his point, he's not
So,
getting
I mean,
paid a lot for what this
You're
job
right.
brings. It used to be prestige, but now this job brings hate. This job is like, okay, let's see how terrible you're going to be. The expectation is not high; it's low. It's like, ugh, it's going to happen when you host
see
the
they're saying-
Oscars.
Speaking of rich people, Jeff Bezos. Is it Bezos or Bezos? So how do you say
Jeff
it?
Bezos
Well, everybody says
sending his
Bezos.
wife to space.
But
with-
his yacht costs. How much does it cost? It's
It's a $500 million yacht.
it's like what, $25 million to keep it upkeep or something.
sure.
They're guessing.
Just
And
to
they're
have
like,
it.
oh, he makes that in an hour, in less than 2 hours. He makes that.
Right. I mean, the man
They
has.
say that he might become the world's first trillionaire.
Wow.
I mean, with the rate that we're ordering Amazon items,
Hell
guys.
yeah.
I mean, there's an Amazon truck in your neighborhood
But there's
every
nobody
day, and it's
against them, right?
delightful every time it comes to your
It is.
door.
What's against them?
I'm
Walmart?
waiting on 6 packages right now.
I know, right? I don't think anything.
My package came
Rodeo
in.
outfit, Santiago's birthday.
My wife ordered
Brita filters.
ham or a Macbeth for my daughter. She needed
Yeah.
a book for today, so she ordered 2 days ago. The package came yesterday. I went down to the place to get the package. They gave me the envelope. It was empty.
What?
Like the thing looked like it wasn't.
It
even
was
sealed.
sealed?
Right. It didn't
Or
look like it was
wasn't
open.
sealed?
Like
Oh.
wasn't even.
Oh, they just forgot to put something in.
I'm like, they actually just delivered this thing. Just a
He
piece
delivered empty. Yeah, you sure nobody opened it up in the mailroom and took it?
No, because I talked to the guy. He goes, no,
Yeah.
they put it all.
They
in this
make mistakes, and
cart.
they're usually pretty good about
Yeah, but with
refunding.
nothing being
It's just
in
an
it,
envelope.
that's so odd.
Can I throw this your way because I don't think I've talked about it enough.
How's
Speaking of that, I'm gonna bring it up. When I got married to my husband Tassos in 2009, Obama was the president. And for, FYI, for anybody who's getting married, whoever the president is, if you send your wedding invitation to the White House, they're supposed to send you something back that you can
Right.
just frame.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who the president is. If you want that, that's like a thing.
Obama regrets that he's unable to attend your wedding.
Right, or something like that. Like, wish you best wishes, whatever it is. Guys, I still have the envelope that I got from the White House. It is not opened. It is sealed, and it is empty.
They forgot to put the thing in there.
They forgot to put the thing in there.
Bummer.
I sent the invitation to the White House. The Obama
That's
people,
funny,
like
yeah.
ministers, to send it back to me with like it's supposed to be like the form, and there's nothing in it. And I could tell, like you did, Eric. You could tell it's empty.
it's empty.
And I held it up to the light. There is nothing in it.
Oh my God.
It is just sealed. It is from the office of the
It's
president.
still cool to have the envelope.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, that's so weird.
if you take it to
and
the
I didn't want to
shower?
open it to like.
Take it into the shower,
Steam
and
it.
the steam will show up, and it'll say something like it's hidden
It's
over
like
here.
National treasure.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
It's time for What's Going Down in H-Town on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KR.
Give all our secrets, Roula.
Oh my God.
They're all
Look
in your house.
behind George Washington's head at Mount Rushmore.
Go there, Roula, go.
Where are those special glasses that show all the holograms?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Houston continues to attract more visitors. So we set records last year for the number of visitors, air passengers, hotel revenue. More than 54 million people visited H-Town last year, and that's 6% more than the previous year. So more than 63 million people traveled through Bush and Hobby airports last year. Meanwhile, more than 25 million hotel room nights were booked last year, which is an 8.2% increase from the previous year. And you wonder if any of that is because, think about all the power outages we had. We had to have all these people come in and work, to restore our power. You had a lot of people coming into town.
People had to go live there.
Well, they stayed in hotels, didn't they?
What was
Yeah,
that?
but I mean,
What
people,
was the number
people that
again?
couldn't live in their house had to go live in.
That's
That's what I'm
true.
saying. But also we have so much. Say it again.
More than 63 million people traveled through our airports to visit H-Town last year, and more than 25 million hotel room nights were booked last year,
Well, we
which
have
was
so
like
many
an 8.2% increase.
Yeah, dude,
So
we
it
have
jumped
tons
up
of
a lot.
conferences, guys. You would be shocked what's happening at GRB. Quilt festivals, and
Oh, yeah, big fan of
gun
that.
shows, snake shows, reptile shows,
Oh, man, you
wedding
wanna
shows.
go to the quilt
If
festival
there's a
there?
show.
There's plants.
Snake
yeah,
Quilt
plant
Festival would be
shows,
cool.
home shows,
Everything.
all the things. Like
There's shows
LARPing,
for everything.
LARPing,
All the things.
Oh, there's some LARPers out there.
LARPers,
Live action
furries,
role players.
all kinds of stuff. There are so many conferences. Oil and gas. Between oil and gas and like the niche things, we are constantly packed and bombarded with conferences here.
You show up the wrong week. It's oil and gas, and you're there dressed as a LARPer.
I'm here for the
Hey,
OTC.
guys, where Delta are they? Oh, crap.
Wrong weekend. Okay, if you missed what happened on Revenge today, you contact us when you want to be on our show because somebody messed with you and you already got them back, but they don't know it was you that messed with them. They're crazy.
Your PayPal are crazy.
They're crazy.